Again.
Oh,
Dude, it was 93 here yesterday. It was hot.
wow.
I broke a record.
That's amazing.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. We're super early because there's super big breaking news. Breaking news. And we're not kidding either.
And you won't believe number 5.
Exactly, because there are 5 things.
You will not believe 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6 either.
That's right. There's not 6, Mike. There's 5.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Today's a go-to day.
Today is a lot.
Good to go day.
It's kind of like a bonus. It's kind of like a bonus day.
It's kind of like a bonus day, but it's called good to go now.
I'm good. I'm getting a shirt that says I'm good to go today.
I'm good to go.
We need to make.
I can guarantee you somebody will be making that shirt.
Absolutely, we need to be the ones. Good to go. Be our guest podcast. So yeah, we're getting ready to record the shows. We're doing them out of order this week. We're gonna have Wednesdays our Friday show. Fridays our Wednesday show. So listener questions coming Friday because we're trying to hit the ground hot.
Yes, we are.
An aircraft carrier, and and Pam's being the mystery guest. She's just gonna be the voice from beyond there in the upper right hand corner. And Be Live, our host here, kind of updated things, and I can't get my 3 rectangles for some reason. They decided to be real aesthetic here, and now it's bugging me to death because now I can't see my little moving message thing, and I'm backwards. I've been told I'm not. What I see looks normal. But it used to be where I saw backwards and you saw normal, and I think everything's host. So I'm gonna work on that this week too. We're an audio podcast for the most part, so hang with us.
Oh yeah, I needed to look at that YouTube thing too. We'll do that.
We've got a lot to do behind the scenes before May 31st. All right, so here we go. So this is going to be Wednesday show, but it's going to be the Friday
topic idea
show.
Yes.
So we can get it out here sooner. Okay, so here we go. And also Paige is home, so we're trying to
yay
time with Paige because it's dead week. If they talk to a recruit, they get sanctioned, so they can't. So she's down here, so it's very safe. Yeah, oh yeah, big deal. Yeah, there's 1 week where they can't talk to anybody. It's called dead week. Okay, here we go. 2283. Welcome to episode 2283 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week. Thanks so much for downloading or streaming the show, and glad you're here for, wait a second, not listener questions. We're going to take on some new news that is about 48 hours old at this time, but it's something that we need to discuss because it's something we've been looking forward to here for the past 2 to 3 months, I would guess. We've been talking about it. Actually, we've been waiting for the date for the past 2 to 3 months, but we've been talking about some of this news for about the past 2 to 3 years, and it's happening, people. Nature is healing. And it is a good to go day here with the Be Our Guest podcast. We're going to have a great time. The crew is assembled. This reminded me so much of the movie Anchorman, where Ron Burgundy gets the call. The news came down this afternoon, and I got on the horn and I said, "News team assemble!" And here we are. And we're recording a podcast just for you. So here we are. Joining me today from down in Atlanta, where her fingers have been just typing. Smoke burning off those keys.
Yeah, that they are.
Ricky from the mouthforless.com. Ricky, happy Wednesday. What's going on?
Happy Wednesday. The good news is unlike in Anchorman, I know how to read from a teleprompter, so I will not say anything that I'm not supposed to say.
She will read anything
that they put up on that prompter. I have a filter. It's not a good one, but I have somewhat of a filter, so I can do that. So we should be good. I should not be doing any swearing on the podcast today. So yay.
So
otherwise Mike will have a button to push.
I used to teach gifted education, and every day we did a news program at our high school. I walked my kids across the parking lot from our gifted annex at the old middle school, which was, it was the administration building, walked over to the high school, did a news program, and their awesome production studio had great facilities. We had a teleprompter, we had a whole studio, we had, everything. my kids the struggle was my kids could not read the teleprompter.
Got
Like,
it.
I just wish they could read what was on the prompter. Fluency was an issue. So it was the
That makes
opposite of
sense.
Ron. We called it the opposite Ron Burgundy complex. You know,
That might be an better opposite one to have, but
and they were the smartest kids in the district. They just kind of flows, right? Because I mean, like, you know, the lights were on them. It's kind of like right now. You know, I can't do it either. You know, I've been trying to do this for 2,300 episodes. It's a struggle. It's a real thing. I'm kind of like Jim Edmonds on the Cardinal broadcast. It's horrible every time we try, but it's never good. Anyway, joining us from up in Pittsburgh, where a lot of our Be Our Guest podcast listeners ran a half and a full marathon this past weekend. Shout out also to the folks down in Cincinnati who ran a very wet Flying Pig half marathon and full marathon in, I believe it was a thunderstorm, a big thunderstorm.
There was something going on,
it was wild, but they made it. Pam Forrester, Pam, what's going on? Happy Wednesday.
I know. Congrats to our runners at both things. It was good running weather in Pittsburgh, that's for sure. So yes, we have lots of news. Like, we aren't a news podcast. There are other people who do news. I'm actually glad that we don't, as a general, like, we're not a news podcast, because I don't know. I don't think that's as fun as the ones we do. Sorry, not sorry. We sort of focus on stuff that impacts people's trips and whatnot. And today, the news really does impact people's trips. So
it does. Yeah,
we're more of like a commentary. You know, we have fun. We play games sometimes. We just talk about trips and how to make them better, and, you know, things like that. But I mean, this is definitely kind of an intersection of those two things. It's news that's going to affect trips moving forward.
For sure.
The biggest news that we got, obviously, on Monday, I laid down and took a nap for like 25 minutes. I got up super early Monday, was doing some work, and I'm like, I'm just going to take a nap like 20. It never fails. If I lay down to take a nap, the world changes. I wake up, dude, Disney dining plans are back. You know, we get a date for 2024 packages. All of a sudden, the campsite, guess what? They're kind of in a whole different thing. I don't know what's up with the campsites, but they're different. All kinds of news. So we're going to kind of go through the news item by item and have a quick discussion on what we think Disney was thinking, and most importantly, how that's going to affect the guest moving forward. So the first point of contact I think that we should discuss is obviously the most broad piece of news, is that 2024 packages for Walt Disney World will start booking on Wednesday, May 31st, which they got that in before June. How about that? Before June. So Pam, this is kind of, you have the travel agency. This is a big deal. So May 31st, what do you think about that date coming up in a few weeks?
I think I'm really excited. First of all, I'm excited that we know now so far in advance. We have so many guests who have contacted us already about 2024 vacations. And I think that's exciting, but this is your chance right now. If you're thinking about a 2024 vacation, reach out, fill out the quote form, reach out, because we'll have you on the list, and there'll be a list that we go down and just get you some pricing. There's no obligation. The other great thing about 2024 this early is it takes how much, Mike, to secure that vacation?
The thing for 2024 is I think it's $2,000 next. No, actually, it's still the going rate of, I mean, inflation has not bit the bug here. It's $200.
$200 to lock in that vacation. That's fully refundable as long as you cancel or change more than 30 days in advance. I don't want to sound like the dude who was like, and there's one more thing, but really that's quite the bargain, I think, to hold that vacation and do that. So
that's right. I mean, and there's really no, as long as you have that $200, you're just locked in. You have the peace of mind. You have your resort. You have your package. You have your dates.
Yeah.
And wasn't there like is there like a Disney song, something in a dream, like a cardboard suitcase in a dream? I mean, you got the $200 down, dude. You can dream for the next 9 months.
That's right. It's true. It's very true. Yeah. And, I mean, like, we try not to be like, this is a big commercial, but if you book with one of the agents over at the Magic for Less Travel, we have some cool incentives that you can only get when you book through us. Right. I mean, Disney doesn't offer that. Plus, Disney's not going to change your reservation to a lower rate. when one is released, if one is released. Not going to do that for you. Sorry, they're just not. So
that's right. And we love helping you out. I mean, the thing is, our services are free. We want to help you out. You can book directly through Disney if you want to, but I mean, it's the same price booking through us. It supports the podcast. It supports a small business. And, that's just kind of our sell right there. Just real quick.
is. That's it. And that'll be it for the show. But yes, that's it.
But I mean, we won't get the news out there. So there you go. Okay. So May 31st, it's a Wednesday, which I, just personally, I like that it's a Wednesday, not a Monday. It's, for me, it's like peace of mind right in the middle of the week. And because it's good for my podcast schedule. We record 2 podcasts on Monday. I'm glad it's on a Monday because Mondays are crazy. Thank you, Disney, for being a Wednesday. Just personally, for our, we've been doing this 15 years.
Right.
Thank you. That's nice. Yes, exactly.
Yes, not on a Monday. Not even a Tuesday. It's a Wednesday.
Hallelujah. I do one podcast on a Wednesday. I do the Monday shows on Wednesdays, but we can make it work. And actually, I'm recording with somebody from Australia that night. So,
hey,
I know we'll figure that. 2 out of 3 weeks, we're recording with guests from Australia. Isn't that
that's
crazy?
fantastic. That's really cool.
Back to the topic. Okay. Because we got so much to talk about.
We do.
So first of all, May 31st, 2024 packages are going to be available. Okay. So the second thing, I guess we want to talk about the elephant in the room. Disney dining plans are returning. Now, it's been a minute since we've had Disney dining plans.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
So here's the thing though. It's been so long since we've had Disney dining plans. As I recall, right as they got kicked out because, COVID and stuff, were there not like 17 variations of Disney?
There were 17 variations. You are not wrong.
Like a really weird one, like right before the end.
Yes, the Dining Plan Plus.
Yeah, okay,
yes.
Get me every time. Every time I'm like, what is that thing? Is it like it offers like a refillable plastic cup and a canteen and what you get like one side of cheese.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much
on
it.
Your right foot and order from the left register.
So here were the dining plans in 2020. Okay, there was the quick service dining plan. There was the standard dining plan, otherwise known as just the Disney dining plan. There was the Disney Dining Plan Plus plan, and then there was the Disney Deluxe Dining Plan. So we're slimming that down in 2024 now. Hallelujah.
Baby steps. Okay, so we're going to get the Disney Dining Plan, and we're getting the quick service Disney Dining Plan.
Correct. Those are the 2 that are coming back. Yes.
Most popular 2 dining plans.
And I think that's really all they needed. I mean, they don't need Disney Dining Plan Plus. I mean,
plus.
Or yeah, exactly. There's too many pluses in there. So yeah, I think it's a good move to just have 2 Disney dining plans.
I heard the reason was they moved the plus from the dining plan over to the Genie. So they can't have that many. Like they just shifted a plus.
Sadly, I can't tell if you're joking or not, and I could see either way. To be perfectly honest,
what it is
I can totally see that people are confused about there's so many pluses. So
they found that old suit from back in the old Ultimate Park Hopper day. Remember that old guy?
Yes.
Ticket with the legs, dude. He's he's back. He's going to be walking around the commercial. I do love that suit.
I hope that he does come back. Actually, that marketing campaign would really only appeal to a certain subset of Disney fans.
Exactly.
People that need to get colonoscopies.
Wow, that's a mashup.
It is. I don't need the colonoscopy yet, Mike. So, I remember
get a free one. If you book a trip.
That's a visual. Thank you for that one.
Sorry if you're just having breakfast. I apologize, but it's true. I hate to hit you where it counts, but that's true because I see those things on Twitter.
You're not wrong.
Just saying, I'm old, right? Because I see the things like if you ate a Big Mac out of a styrofoam container, time to schedule your colonoscopy.
Oh my gosh.
It hits me hard. I'm just saying because I'm trying to hold off. Anyway, so here we go. But we're back to the Disney dining plans. Yeah. So we're going to get 2, the most popular, the standard Disney dining plan and the quick service dining plan. Now, the thing is, we don't know the details on a lot of this, right? I think Disney's got us hyped up today, with the announcement on Monday. We're still 48 hours out. And we're going to get details on these things in the coming days, and before these things start booking on May 31st.
Yes.
But Ricky, you kind of just stated, and I'm kind of the same opinion that trimming it down to 2 is we're kind of returning into the Disney dining plan days. Good idea, right? We probably don't need all of them. Just bring back the 2 most popular.
Correct. I mean, this is what, we kind of talked about this when COVID came, around, is that, what it is allowing Disney to do is cut back on the excess stuff that they had like started throwing in everywhere, and just do the things that really make sense and work for, a Walt Disney World vacation. And this is certainly one of the things that needed to be trimmed down. There really was no reason to have 4 Disney dining plans. And so getting it cut down to the quick service dining plan, which as of 2020, which was the last time they offered it, it would, keep in mind that was the beginning part of 2020. It was 2 quick service meals, 2 snacks per person per night of their package stay, plus a resort refillable mug. So that's what you got with the quick service dining plan. Now with the standard dining plan, otherwise just known as the Disney dining plan, it's 1 table service meal, 1 quick service meal, and 2 snacks per person per night, as well as the 1 refillable drink mug. So now there's no word on if these will be changing in any way, shape, or form for 2024, since obviously it's been 4 years since they've had a Disney dining plan at this point. I assume that it will be very similar, if not stay close to the same. The only thing that is obviously going to change will be the price. I just want to warn you, the price is going to increase for this, and you may not like it. So just a heads up on that. But, because everybody's going to be like, oh no, they raised the price. It's also been 4 years since we've had a dining plan. So I highly expect the price.
The restaurants. I mean, it's going to be comparable to the price of what you're paying for your meals.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Yes,
I just want to put that out there. The price will absolutely be changing for 2024.
And
so
there are a few things that I do know that I can add to this.
Good.
Refillable mugs are going to still be included.
Awesome.
And they will not have 2 snacks a day, just 1 snack a day. And that reason is that you all saw the pictures of people bringing home pretzels.
True.
A bucket load of pretzels.
I'm not kidding. The first time, and this was early in the first, like when it was just the Disney dining plan, and you got like all the entitlements. Dude, I remember we brought home packs of Entenmann's donuts. I still remember that when we were driving. It was ridiculous. So that's they were still trying to find a balance with snacks.
But there are certain times when the Disney dining plan is an absolute no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if you have kids between the ages of 3 and 9, and you're going to be eating in a table service or character restaurant, the dining plan's a no-brainer.
Yes.
Because you know what the price of that that character meal is for your kids, and your children, regardless of age, have to pay that children's price for the dining plan. It's just a little below the adult price. And what happened before is typically the price of the dining plan was either less than the cost of some of the character meals or just a little more than. And you got another thing. Another thing was if you're a refillable mug person, the dining plan almost always works out in your favor because we know the cost of the refillable mugs.
It's $20.
It's $20.
Yeah. Pam, do you know, I know before, and you may not know this, but I know before that they were allowing guests to get alcoholic beverages with the Disney dining plan. Do you know if that will be continuing or?
I do not know that.
Okay.
I do not know that.
I just thought I'd ask since I see that in the descriptions of what we've got, up on the master list still. So I just wanted to double check to see whether.
I know we will have to see, but I do believe the specialty beverages will be will be included. So we'll see. We'll just see what that has to be. But the other thing is if you just in general are doing a lot of the all you care to enjoy or character dining meals, that's when the dining plan also always is going to work in your favor, just because of the price point of those is so much, just so much per person. You got to pay it. So
absolutely. Yeah. You definitely can get a lot for your money if you're going to any of those like character meals or all you here to eat buffets or whatever they've got going on. So.
Sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm on social media, right? I mean, I don't post a ton, but I do read a ton because I'm on the treadmill every morning for a couple hours, and I scroll through Twitter and so forth and read everybody's comments. And I get that some people say, okay, well, I can look at. Pam just gave a great usage of the Disney dining plans, especially with kids, especially with character dining, especially with all you care to eat locations. There's so many ways you can use this to your advantage.
Yes.
Here's what I also think about. When I go on a cruise, my favorite thing about a cruise, and we're getting ready to cruise here soon, and I'm obsessed. This is because I'm in that zone where that's all I'm thinking about at this point. Like, because it was 93 here a couple days ago, so it's summer, dude.
Right.
We're cruising in the summer, so like I'm ready to pack. I'm ready to go. One of the things I love about a cruise is that you pay for your cruise, and we paid for it, a month ago, so it's paid for. Like, dude, I'm just ready to get on the ship. Everything's paid for. You know what I'm saying? Other than like souvenirs and alcohol. And we're ready to rock. Like, I don't have to think about paying for my meals. I don't have to think about paying for entertainment. I don't have to think about paying for any, it's good to go. And this is as close as you can get for that, at Walt Disney World. You can pay for your dining, and it's basically kind of it turns Walt Disney World into more of an all-inclusive kind of destination rather than, people always say, like, I hate to be like nickel and dimed on vacation. This takes some of that away. You're going to pay about the same anyway, but you can pay for it up front. And it makes budgeting for your vacation a lot easier, and it makes it a lot easier to take care of things ahead of time. And I'm very much a person who likes to take care of things before I leave for the airport. I don't know, Pam, is that kind of how you are? Some people are different, and this is just me, but I've always been that way.
No.
I like that things. I mean, I'm just, I don't like to carry a balance on credit cards. I just like to have stuff paid for up front.
I know. As you're saying all this, I'm like, preach, Mike, because this is my story too. I like to have everything paid for and more before I leave. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, like you, I just don't like having to think about it, blah, blah, blah. The other thing is that I think it's like an easy button to vacationing, right? That like, boom, this makes the vacation easier. It feels more all-inclusive. It feels like it's just a package that's all put together. And I think that's a big part of it too. In our chat here, James was saying that he loves the reason why he likes the dining plan is he likes to go straight. He doesn't have to go straight to the right-hand side of the menu first to check out the price. He knows that he can get the beef and not the chopper chicken.
James and I are like
Right.
the mother, because that's me. When I'm on the dining plan, dude, I order what I want. When I'm paying for it out of pocket, I look at the prices. I can't help it. That's me. That's why I get buttermilk chicken. It's the cheapest thing at Olivia's. It's great, but it is one of the cheaper things on the menu.
Right.
Yep.
It is. And then one more thing I wanted to say about too, one of the reasons that I know a lot of our guests really like the dining plan is that they buy Disney gift cards in a discounted way, either through Target or through, I know some people can get it through their grocery store and they get some kind of rewards for it or whatnot. When you're doing that and getting some kind of discount like on the Disney gift card, you can use that for a package that's booked through us. And then you're getting a discount off of your vacation as well that equals that as well. And that is in addition to whatever discounts are released by Disney at that point in time too. So I kind of like that too. Plus then like your food's getting a discount, another discount. Disney always says that like the Disney dining plan can help you save up to X% on your Disney dining. And that is, that is always true. I think there's different ways that people use it that can help them save more or less.
So so here's the next thing. Okay. So, we're going to talk about this, obviously moving it, because we got a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks here before these packages go live. We can start booking them so we can speculate. And the thing is, Disney's going to give us more information because they've said that. They haven't given us a lot of details. They've getting us excited, Christmas is coming, but you don't find out, what's under they've laid out the presents, but we don't know what's in them. You got to kind of, I don't know if you're gonna sneak under the tree there and peel back and get the tape. And I didn't do that when I was a kid, did I?
No, of course not.
I won't get caught. But here's the thing. Here's where, so to get a Disney dining plan, this is just the rules. And, some people are new to this whole thing. We get new listeners all the time that are just kind of, they had this first trip to Walt Disney World.
I love first trips. I'm going to say.
I mean, I agree. And I think a lot of us, that listen to podcasts, we take for granted that all of us have been around for crusty old Disney vets, right? And a lot of us are. I mean,
Hey, you're crusty. I am not. I'm just throwing that out there. You old crotchety man.
This is the third time I've said the word colonoscopy in today's show.
Who would have thought?
I don't know if that brings out like a doctor.
Do we get a bell ding for colonoscopy now? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Are we being sponsored by Cologuard now? Is that your way of telling us that, Mike?
Yeah, what's that little box guy? The commercial.
That's Cologuard. Yeah,
Cologuard. The little guy. He looks way too happy. The box that chases you around. I don't. That's like the option, and I don't really want to do that option either. You know what I'm saying? Because that doesn't sound very fun. Anyway, back to what's on
Taking a
hand.
turn.
This is such a horrible show.
Yes,
Here we
it
go.
is.
So here's the thing, though. People that are new to this might not understand. To get a Disney dining plan, you have to be on a package. Okay, it's just so we can kind of lay down some basics here. Travel Agent 101, Disney Fan 101. To get a Disney dining plan, you have to be on a package. And what a package is, it's a room and tickets combined. Okay, so that's it's if you want to know if you're on a package or if you're on a room only, a package will have 8 numbers in your confirmation, and a room only will have 12. That's if you ever want to know, that's how you can tell. And that's kind of the basics. So to get a Disney dining plan, you have to have a package. And so here's something that is going to be good for packages also, besides Disney dining plans, is that starting January 9th, 2024, if you have date-based tickets, which is packages,
Yes.
guess what? Well, I need to cue the NSYNC, baby. Bye, bye,
Yes.
bye, bye, bye.
Yes.
No.
Buy
No,
reservations. Yeah.
Reservation
exactly.
necessary. So Ricky, give me a little the feedback on that. What'd you think?
I mean, that's a fantastic piece of news. Granted, I'm an annual pass holder, so I still have to have reservations.
We'll talk about that in a second. Hold tight.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's still on most days I have to have reservations, but so it's going to be awesome because if you have, like you said, date-based tickets and you're purchasing after January 9th, or you are visiting, on or after January 9th, you can visit any of the 4 Walt Disney World theme parks on any day. No more making theme park reservations ahead of time. So, if you want to visit Epcot on the first day, well, you can do that without making a reservation. If you plan on visiting the Magic Kingdom on the 3rd day of your trip and you're like, you know what, I'd really rather go to Disney Hollywood Studios today, guess what? You can do that too. It's so fantastic that they are getting rid of the park reservation option, at least in a small way. Hopefully it will continue as we move forward. Yes, this is such a huge piece of news that I'm very excited for. So,
yeah, it is. I know. And the world rejoiced, I think.
And the world rejoices.
And one says, my good friend Sparty here in Maryland, he says dancing in the streets. And I mean, it is. Here's the thing. And I know that we're speaking to a lot of folks that are annual pass holders or
Yes.
local. I get it. A lot of us do not get date-based tickets. Right here, I'm an annual pass holder. Ricky's an annual pass holder. Pam has, non-date-based tickets for the most part.
Right.
Here's the thing. We're not talking to the majority of people going to Walt Disney World. Most people are going to be on packages that have date-based tickets. And here's the thing. These are the folks that the theme park reservation is most confusing and most stressful.
Correct.
And such a barrier to having a good time on a vacation. Now, the good news is when I go down, I still have to make theme park reservations. Now, we'll talk about that in a second, but I don't make them because I have a travel agent. His name is Scott Gardner, because we usually travel together. And I say, Scott, dude, I don't care what park we go to. Just make mine when you make yours, because we're usually there at the same time. And I joke about it because I really don't care. We just have a good time. Just whenever you make yours, we can go to Epcot that day. Sure. Let's go. So Scott always makes them. And when I went for Spring Surprise, that's the first time I made my own in forever. And it's not hard to do at all, right? Because if you're an annual pass holder, you know how to navigate the system. But I think what this does is this just takes away a hurdle it takes away a stressor for, there was that meme going around, like, the family from Kansas, that wants to go to Walt Disney World and have a good time.
Right.
That just erased a huge stressor for that family. So Pam, I think this is a great thing because it gets us back to where you just go to Walt Disney World and you can just go have fun. You have tickets, go have fun. I think this is what it's all about.
I agree. It's just, I think, again, Disney was listening when they asked, like, what is challenging when you come to Walt Disney World? And I think there's so many of us who are like, I just want it to be easier. Like, I just need it to be easier. And I think that's why we're seeing some of these changes come out. It's not, these aren't changes that are easy to implement halfway through the year, sort of like we are right now. And we're getting ready to go to 2024. Just 2024.
Okay, we can say colonoscopy a 4th time. Just don't say 2020.
No.
Right? After, so that's why we're seeing all these changes. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Like, let's get back to making Disney vacations easier than they were. And these are two, I think, huge steps in the right direction. I know that there was always a barrier for guests who were coming, who weren't as familiar with it to, do the theme park reservations. Even my parents, it's so funny. They took me to Disney World all the time growing up, and even have gone, many, many times past that when, as an adult with me and things like that. My mom would always say, okay, now what do I have to do with the theme park thing again? I'd be like, Mom, we need to make reservations. So she's like, well, how do I know where I'm going to be? I'm like, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? And now we sort of removed that. So again, I'm just like saying these changes are easy button changes. We're trying to make it easier.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So here's a question. And again, this is one we don't have the answer to, but it is, we are giving some news that we have, but again, speculation. What do we think about Park Hopper? Because Disney has loosened up the Park Hopper over the past couple of months with annual pass holders, because annual pass holders can go to for one thing, okay, they've gotten rid of the theme park reservation for annual pass holders, except for Saturdays and Sundays at the Magic Kingdom after 2 p.m., right? You could go. So they were kind of testing this a little bit, over the past couple of months. And now this is going to happen. But what about hopping? If people can go on date-based tickets anywhere they want without theme park reservations, Ricky, what would you speculate park hopping looks like in 2024? If you had to guess.
I mean, probably the same as it did in a weird way, because people could hop before. They had to go with the date-based reservation tickets. They had to go to the first park, but then they really could hop anywhere that they wanted. So I think it'll just be like it was, before, easy peasy, just now you just don't have to choose which park you want to go to first, which is, really handy. So I think it's going to be just as easy as it had been with the reservations. Just, you don't have to have the reservation for the first park, which is nice.
So, I'm trying to think about this. Okay. So let me just think for a second, because I'm just going to think about this on the fly. So if you don't have to have a theme, okay, wait, because again, things are so weird.
Yes.
From when they change. Okay, so if you don't have to have a theme park reservation, which you're going on date-based tickets, January 9th, so you can go wherever you want. So say you just go to Epcot on January 9th.
Yes.
Okay. And no theme park reservation necessary.
Right.
But they could still say you have to wait till 2 to go to.
I'm guessing, as of right now, yes, that part of it, I think that you.
But what would the advantage to that be? Is what I'm trying to think of the advantage to that.
To waiting till 2.
Yeah, if you don't have to have theme park reservations.
So I'm betting it's so that people can't get virtual queues as easily for Tron or Guardians, because the virtual queue goes at 1. So it's like letting people who are already in the park get the option of virtual queue. Does that make sense?
Pam, work through this with me here. Does that make sense?
It does kind of make sense. I think that it will be, because then, if you aren't in that park in the morning, then you can't get a virtual queue for either the 1 o'clock drop when it happens, because you have to be in the park.
Let's put it this way: the opportunity to get the virtual queue is less if you because lately it has been open later. I mean, I've seen the virtual queue for Guardians and Tron. I don't know if it's as much Tron, but definitely Guardians going later in the day. But you're still taking the chance, if you park hop, that you won't have the opportunity to get that Guardians virtual queue. So I think that's kind of where it gives more of an advantage to the first park that you go to.
That works. Okay, cool. Okay, it's just speculation and just kind of thinking of the logistics through this. Okay, we'll get more. Obviously, we'll be talking about this all the way up till January. I mean, because
for sure
nothing's changing yet. We're just getting news, and it's May, so plenty of time. Okay, I want to get through this. Okay, for the people that came in late, because I used to be a teacher, dude, tardy slip. Where were you, Kurt? Yes, we are getting dining plans in 2024. Roll Tide. Since you're a Tide fan and you said the sweetest football in the history of footballs, you're good. Yes, we're getting dining plans. And Sean came in. He said, "Yeah, you do have to have a package to get a Disney dining plan. So you got to have the tickets and the package." Okay,
you do. But wait, let me and one more thing. And we're just one more thing. I looked over the information I had been given earlier. I had missed this part. I don't know how, because this would apply to me. The regular dining plan does include alcoholic drinks.
There you go. That's good to know.
For guests over 21. I know, right? That gets a
Right.
ding.
That does.
And that for guests who are under 21, of course, get the non-alcoholic specialty drinks. So that's a bonus.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome.
You're cool, Kurt. That's awesome. Okay. Also, just got to hit the news. Okay. So I'm just going to read this little brief blurb on this one,
Okay.
introducing good to go days. And I hope you're having a good to go day right now. Because I mean, we all need good to go days. It says in 2024, we plan to, this is for AP holders, annual pass holders. In 2024, we plan to offer select days on which our annual pass holders may visit Walt Disney World theme parks without needing a park reservation. So there you go. Some days. Once introduced, we'll roll out these good to go days on an ongoing basis. These will be in addition to the recent update, which offers pass holders the opportunity to visit theme parks after 2 p.m. without needing a park reservation, except on Saturdays and Sundays at the Magic Kingdom. Good to go days may vary by park, and past blackout dates and capacity limitations continue to apply like they do today. Please stay tuned for details on good to go days. So
I love good to go get days. I'm like, every day is going to be a good to go day.
Right.
we don't know. I mean, dude, that's a story of life. You know, like I wake up and I think it's going to be a good to go day. Then I check my inbox and it could
it could be
you just never know. So, you know, I mean, the way we should all look at it, right, is if you get up in the morning and you're able to get out of bed, it's a good to go day.
It is. Yeah, that's true.
How we should look at it. Okay, so it kind of in boring news, but I mean, good news. We're going to still get extended hours for resort guests.
Yes.
I mean, that's Ricky, that's good news. And it says morning and evening. Now, evening is still deluxe guests continuing, but I mean, it's a perk to stay in a deluxe hotel. You know, maybe
I mean, again, I don't know why they don't just open this up to everyone again, but that's okay. I get it. You know, they got to give you a little incentive to stay in a deluxe hotel, besides the fact that you're staying in a deluxe hotel. But yeah, early theme park entry is going to be available for all 4 Walt Disney World theme parks. So you get 30 minutes prior to park opening, so you can beat the crowds and get a jump start on all of your favorite attractions. Now, keep in mind, of course, you do have to be staying at a Walt Disney World resort hotel. So just know that. So me, I can't roll up staying, you know, offsite. I have to, you know, go at park opening, but anybody who's staying at a Disney resort can go ahead of time. So yay.
Well, if you're staying at a deluxe resort, I mean, that's a perk, right? You know, because I mean, that limits the capacity in the evenings and gets you ultra exclusive access to the theme park. So, I mean, you got to think about it. Deluxe resorts, it gives you a definite perk.
In the
if
evening,
it was available to value and moderates, that's probably 75% more people, because you know that's a huge capacity kick to have the availability there. So that's, you got to look at it. It's a deluxe resort perk. So
yeah,
that's okay. So one more thing that's not huge news, because we got to talk about, I think not the biggest news, but the biggest piece that's left is that there's going to be updated room categories. And here's what Disney says, effective later this month. Okay, so this is happening like soon, like in May, and including 2024. The names of some room categories at deluxe resorts, and I'm guessing this is going to be the monorail resorts, will be simplified to 3 categories in most cases: resort view, water view, and theme park view. The adjustment better enables us to focus on the guest experience at check-in as we assign rooms and prioritize specific requests. So Pam, you go to some of these, you know, meetings, and Disney talks to you about, you know, giving guests what they're expecting and helping communicate what the vacation will be all about. So talk to us about these, you know, changing, because there's so many different descriptors when it comes to room view. We're going to simplify it: resort view, water view, theme park view. Is this basically monorail resorts?
Well, so I think the number one reason we're getting this is because they want to give guests the best chance of getting their room when they get there. And right now, you'll look at some of the resorts and there's like 35 resort room categories.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you're going to, you know, if I'm checking into the Polynesian and I have a upper floor, whatever I booked, right? Whatever I booked, a lagoon view on this, and this, it's much more difficult to find that particular room type than it is if I just book. There's only 3 room types. So there's a lot more rooms that fit this kind of room type. There's a lot more rooms that are identified as just theme park view instead of whatever, theme park view upper floor, theme park view, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So I think that is what is driving this, the need and the want to get guests in their rooms much quicker. And this will really help with that procedure. Two, I think we received this a lot from guests. It was really hard for guests to be like, well, so what's the difference between this room type and that room type? It's sort of like, well, this is this kind of room and this is that kind of room. So, I mean, just, for that. So I think the simplification for this will really, really help.
Yeah, I know. Cause a lot of times, I mean, like sometimes you look like garden woods and sometimes you look at water. Well, sometimes, I mean, you see both, right? I mean, turn your neck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you get the bonus, right? Like I booked garden woods, but you know what? If I just crick my neck here a little bit,
exactly.
I would, if I'm cheating Disney, but I mean, we always feel like we want as Disney fans when that happens, but no, I get it, and it's just clarification. And also they're just saying, we're trying to get you what you're looking for. I think it's trying to get clarification on, okay, you booked a water view room. You're going to see a lagoon. You're going to see a lake. You're going to see a pool. You're going to see water. You're going to see H2O. It's it's simple, it's simplification, which I think everybody wins. It's clarification. Okay. Last thing we're going to talk about in today's show. And of course we're going to talk about this for weeks, months to come. And I like this. Here's what I think it is. Just if you want to get down to brass tacks, to me, it sounds like paid Fast Pass Plus coming back. To me, here's what it says. We have heard from guests that they would like ways to plan the Disney Genie Plus service and individual lightning lane selections before the day of their park visit. And while we don't have specifics to share yet, we want you to know that we're working on ways guests may do this for visits in 2024. We want to give guests the opportunity to spend less time planning in the park and more time enjoying their visit with friends and family. We look forward to sharing more details at a later date. And I told the ladies this, and I just ran out of time because we got to the show right away when we started recording. This is where I was going to insert the Hallelujah chorus. Hallelujah. This sounds like the old days where you used to be, you got excited at home. What do we want to do? Like, how are we going to schedule stuff? And what do we want to do in the theme parks? I don't know what this is going to look like, but here's the thing. Disney listened. This was a concern with some of these other things. Theme park reservations were a concern for the family from Kansas. You want to do things before you get there. You don't want to have this pressure at 7 a.m. It's stress. Yeah. It's getting rid of a stress point. And I think this is a good thing. You don't have to buy Genie Plus. You don't have to. But if you do, I'd rather do it at home than at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. is just, you don't need that stress in the morning. I don't think. Ricky gives thoughts on this because we don't have a lot of details, but I think it's moving in the right direction.
No, and as someone who doesn't get up at, well, I do now with Lucy, but as someone who doesn't usually get up at 7 a.m., it's just one of those things where you don't want the pressure of having to, get on the app at 7 a.m., make sure you can find a reservation, that kind of thing. Being able to set it up ahead of time before your trip is going to be a great option for guests. Obviously, like you said, we don't have specifics, so not sure if it's going to be just one, Genie Plus reservation or that you're going to be able to make, or if it's going to be like 3, like it was before, or what. I can see them doing both options. But I definitely think that having the ability to make some sort of reservation ahead of time with your purchase of Disney Genie Plus is going to be huge. So I think it's a step in the right direction, for sure. So, I mean, it's not the same as Fast Pass Plus where, it was free. It will not be free. I can guarantee that. But at least it's a step in the correct direction. So, I don't know why they didn't do this to begin with, but beside the point. So.
Pam, what are your thoughts on this? I just think that when you take the pressure of having to do anything day of and you give people time at home, I think that that's a win.
I think so too. I think that this sort of satisfies the planners, right? That want to have a more concrete plan of here's what's going to happen. Which is funny because we like the concrete plan for our Genie Plus reservations, but we don't like them for park reservations. So I always found that's sort of a juxtaposition that I think is kind of interesting because it accomplishes sort of the same thing. But it'll be interesting to see where this goes. And I think that they're absolutely just looking to do, to find a way to make it easier. And I think that that's not hammered out yet. So I think we'll see what happens with that.
So details to come, but I mean, exciting times. I'm glad that we have a date, May 31st, as we kind of wrap the show today with all this news and exciting times. Disney dining plans coming back, theme park reservations for these packages with date-based tickets going away starting on January 9th of 2024. Changes coming to Genie Plus moving forward and more, and I think that's one of the things that sustains us as Disney fans and allows us to have a podcast here for 15 plus years is that there's always changes to our theme parks. We get new attractions, new shows, new restaurants, new ways to sail on the Disney Cruise Line, but new ways to visit the theme parks. And they're always changing. And sometimes we're, yay, good changes. Sometimes we have to, we're a little disappointed. Sometimes old things go away that we loved, and sometimes new things come on and we love them. Like I love Tron when I went down this past time. But it's exciting when we get new things. And Pam, as we wrap here, it's one of those things like we're getting things. It's such a weird thing, right? I mean, like Happily Ever After has come back from the dead. It's like Lazarus, it's like, didn't think I'd see that again. Epcot Forever. I thought that was gone forever. And it's playing right now at Epcot tonight. It's Disney dining plans, hey, took a little 3-year break and hey, nice to meet you again, buddy. It's such a weird time, but it feels like nature's healing in a way.
Yeah, I think about like all these things. It's like everything that's old is new again, sort of. And it's things that, I mean, these are some of the number one things that we've had guests contact us again for the dining plan. I cannot tell you how many guests have asked us about the dining plans and continue to ask about the dining plans like all the time. And I'm so like glad to be able to say, guess what? We have an answer now.
They're coming back.
They're coming back. I mean, literally, when we heard that they were coming back, there were cheers in our group.
Yeah, I'm sure that there
truly,
were.
truly. So I just think that it's just, all these things are things that we've sort of been waiting for. And now it makes us really really happy to be able to do some of these things. It makes planning a Disney trip like something that I'm just like, yes, this is fun again. Let's get to it. So I like it.
All right. Well, hey, it's going to do it. And today is a weird week because we're going to have listener questions on Friday. So if you have a question, you can always send those to Mike@BeOurGuestPodcast.com. Now, I probably won't get on Friday's show because we're recording that in about 5 minutes, unless you're listening live and you're going to hang out with us. You get a question in the show. I mean, hey, we got a lot of folks that it's amazing news like this, and people hop on Facebook and YouTube and join us. But otherwise, we got plenty of time. We're not going anywhere. Mike@BeOurGuestPodcast.com will get you on next Fridays, or actually be next Wednesday show. You don't got to wait 5 days this time. So don't forget, we would love to help you plan that 2024 package for Walt Disney World. Room only if you need that too. I mean, we can still do that for you. And even 2023, don't write this year off. I mean, it's only May, people. You can go this summer. I mean, you can go to the Halloween party. You got Christmas. Come on, Disney. I know we're excited about 2024, but don't waste away summer, fall, and the holiday season for 2023. We want to get you out there. And also, you could still cruise with Disney Cruise Line. Great places to go, Adventures by Disney. And there's a cool place that I like to call Disneyland on the West Coast. I'm wearing my Mickey shirt from Disneyland today. So we want to help you plan a magical vacation. Bottom line is I want you to have a magical trip no matter where you go in the world. Under the Disney brand. I just love it. I get emails from guests all the time that come back and say, we had a great time. And that just makes my day, week, month. Every time I see the pictures, folks sitting in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle, with a big smile, wearing their Mickey ears, or, Paolo having an anniversary dinner with Disney Cruise Line, what have you. It's awesome seeing people make memories for a lifetime, I guess. And that is just, I hope to do that for you. I'd love to do that moving forward. So just go over to themagicforless.com, fill out that quote form. If it's 2024, we'll put it in a little file. We'll put it away for a couple weeks and we'll hammer on that as soon as May 31st gets here. We'll take great care of you. I promise you that. So just swing by the website, themagicforless.com, fill it out. We'll take care of you from there. I appreciate your support. Thank you so very much. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to all the patrons who support our show and allow us to put this out as many times as we can, 3 to 4 times a week, every week since 2008. And a bonus show for our patrons as well, Mike in the Midwest. So if you'd like to join us over there, come on over, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give Ricky a follow on social media at Ricky Nibs, RikkINIBS. Lots of news happening over on her feed this week. Pam is at TMFLT Pam. News over there as well. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Would love to talk to you. Not so much Cardinals news. I can't take it anymore. But I mean, if you want to share my misery, come on over. Especially if you're a Cubs fan, man, is the best time to follow us right now because you're loving my life because it's terrible.
Yeah.
But I just love sharing life with you guys over on the social media. It's kind of just a friendship. So we'll have a live show this Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. You, me, and Scotty G. Give us a call. We'll have plenty to talk about this Sunday night. I promise you that. So it should be a good one. All right, we'll be back again on Friday with listener questions. Flip-flop this week. And no colonoscopy talk. I promise you that.
Oh my
so
God.
I can't promise you, but we'll try not to. It will not be brought to you by Cologuard, the little box guy with
It's probably good.
good. All right. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike. Wishing you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. That was fun. Other than the colonoscopy talk.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
Something wrong with you?
Episode.
Yeah.
That was 2283. Scrubs. Yay. Do you want to do the second show, or can you, or what?
Yes, I can.
Rock on.
I'm doing the virtual V.
I had
Is
to
it?
do one of those for my headache medicine the other day.
I'm so we're really actually so fortunate to be able to do that now. I think
The
it's
virtual
like
visit?
what a time to be alive kind of
Right?
thing. I mean,
Exactly.
it truly is.
Yeah,
Exactly. Although I think there's certain things that you still have to go to the
Yeah,
actual
for
doctor
sure.
for.
Yeah.
Obviously they want to make sure it's a highly, addictive, drug that you need to be
Right.
on or something, then they probably want you to come into the office for that.
For sure.
She came in early though and scared the crap out of me. Because I had my computer up on my on the kitchen table, and it said 2:00, and but you had to have a link going at 1:45 to be safe, and it was 1:49, and I was like, boom, she was there. I was like,
Oh no.
I was glad though, because I like when people are prompt.
I know, right?
Let's see, let's see. Let me get a question here.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Oh my god, now I got the hiccups. That's
Oops.
not good.
I know. So the alcohol thing is there. It's listed as something that is available with the regular dining plan. So people will be excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Len, I still haven't got mine either. I know my doctor every time I go in keeps telling me. And I'm like,
Do the poop in a box.
yeah, that's what I will. But, I mean, that's really gross. I don't want to know about it. I didn't even pee in when I was having my kidney stones, they gave me this big thing that it was as big as the thing I get the gas for my lawnmower. I'm like, dude, that's a gallon, dude. For real? After I had my surgery to get the kidney stone taken, I'm like, seriously? The thing it's a gallon. That'd be $5 for gas or more.
No, it's so much easier. The prep, you don't have to prep for the box.
I mean, that's when I do it. That's what I'm gonna do. But I mean,
Yeah.
still, I'm about to gag right now just thinking about it.
Oh, wait till you do it.
I mean, I just might borrow one of Riley's and just put it in there and just see if it's good to go. Just
Right.
I'm gonna take her out every day. Just yeah. Okay, let's change the subject here, Len, because I'm about to gag.
Mike has a very,
He does.
very weak gag reflex.
Yes,
is
he
what I
does.
say.
I'm a sympathetic puker. Okay, let's do listener questions. So if anybody has questions, and we have one about the APs and dining, so that'll keep us topical. That's a big fat no. I'm sorry, but yeah, we'll put that on there. Here we go. So 2285. But yeah, if anybody has questions, we'd appreciate them because that'll keep us on track. Here we go. Nope, not 4800, 441. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2285 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. And we're just going to mess with your mind here a little bit. Guess what? It's time for your listener questions. And if you're a creature of habit like me who eats the same thing on the same night of the week almost every week, this would totally throw me for a loop. If I was on the treadmill this morning, I'd be like, wait, I got to go back to my listener questions. It's Wednesday. No, I know it's Friday because we had all the news on Wednesday. And I mean, I'm the podcaster, so it's got me all thrown for a loop. So just hang tight. We're going to get through this together. I know we're going to do it. And we're going to have a good time, get you into the weekend and just try to change the world a little bit here. Probably not change the world, but just have some fun. So joining me today to answer your listener questions, we're live on Facebook and YouTube with a lot of great friends. We have Ricky from down at the mouseforless.com in Atlanta. Ricky, what's up? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And just getting ready to, sadly, my maternity leave is getting ready to end. Not this next week coming up, but the week after. And so I am getting ready to head back to the working world again. It's going to be real weird. It's going to be real weird.
Like 9 to 5, like Dolly Parton.
Exactly.
And, Dabney Coleman. Just don't kill your boss.
No, I'll try not to. I like my boss, so I'll try not to kill him. I mean, I have threatened before, but not seriously.
And these movies were the best. Like you got 9 to 5, you got Mr. Mom. I mean, no wonder we work so hard, right? I mean, it really taught you the work ethic.
I guess it did. Yeah.
I guess. Well, good luck with that and enjoy the last few days. Hang on as long as you can.
I'm trying. Yep. I'm trying.
All right. Speaking of the work from home crew, because I'm one of those, and so is this lady, Pam Forrester, Coner, the Magic for Less Travel. Work from home. We're stressing the word work. What's up, Pam? Happy Friday.
I know, right? People love the work from home thing. They're like, oh yeah, I'd love to work from home. I'm always like, yeah, you actually work all the time when you work
18 hours a day, but you're at home.
You are at home. But yes, true. But you know what? This time of year I actually get to work outside. And I do love that. I will say that's a good thing. And actually I wouldn't have it any other way. I never want to complain about my job. I have one of the best jobs in the world. So if anyone ever hears me complain about any of it, remind me of that. Because it is so fun to get to be a part of somebody else's vacation. It's very cool. So
yeah, I talked about that on Wednesday, and you see this, and sometimes I will forward the emails that I get just because I get so excited when folks get back and they take the time to give me kind of a debrief of their vacation, because you don't have to. You get home and you got to get back to work, and it's kind of a bummer, right, that the vacation's over.
Right.
But, I get these guests who will send me photos of, like I said, just the greatest times, riding the train or, the kids' first ride on Big Thunder Mountain or, what have you, Pop Century with potato heads. It doesn't matter, but the smiles and the joy and hearing the story of, when, my daughter got to meet Elsa, and they've seen the movie, and I've had to watch it with them, 2,847 times, but they finally got to meet Elsa and they lost it. And then I lost it as a parent. You get those emails and sometimes, just forward them onto you and be like, how cool is it that we got to be 0.08% of this? It's awesome.
It is. And I think what's funny is Audie, our agent manager, she shares them with the team. She picks a few every week to sort of share with the team. And I love that. That's one of my favorite posts of the week. Just getting to read, here's what someone said and here's what they loved. And guess what? They shared their pictures with us. And it was awesome. That part is really, really cute.
It is. All right. So no news today. Nothing happening. No, we did all that on Wednesday. So let's jump into the listener questions. We got a question here from Sarah, and she says, Epcot flower and garden trip. Hey, Mike and the BOGP crew. And she says, including Lucy. She put that in parentheses, but how about that?
That's awesome.
She's part of the crew now.
She is.
According to Sarah. She says, I'm going to Disney World on May 22nd, and I'm trying to get on Cosmic Rewind and Tron on the same day. My current plan is to start off the day in Epcot and park hop to Magic Kingdom later on in the afternoon to go on Tron at night. What is the best strategy to get on both of these rides? I will definitely buy an individual lightning lane for both if necessary. Thanks so much, Sarah. So is this even possible, Ricky?
Yes. I say that with a couple caveats. It is possible if she does buy the individual lightning lane for Tron in the evening. I think that it would technically be possible if she can get in the virtual queue for Guardians. However, What I might do is, the way things are going like right now, I might flip flop it. I would actually probably do Magic Kingdom first, make sure I get a virtual queue, or I guess individual lightning lane for Tron, and then when I park hop, then I would be able to get the one, or the virtual queue has been open a little bit later for Guardians. So, because that's probably how I would handle it. But I think at least getting an individual lightning lane for Tron, if you're going to the Magic Kingdom second, is going to be a key thing. But I don't think you can get it for. I don't think you can get individual lightning lane for both, because I don't think you can get one for Epcot and then get one for Magic Kingdom unless it's later in the day, and I don't think it'll be available later in the day. So
Aaron says today, as we're recording now, we're recording earlier in the week, that Tron's virtual queue is available at 3 p.m.
Nice. Now, I mean, obviously it's kind of a shoulder season right now, so it's not like the most popular time. So like summer,
May 22nd, that's getting close to Memorial Day.
Yeah, once you hit close to Memorial Day, it's gonna be. I think that virtual queue is gonna, be a lot harder to get into at that point.
But when I see this stuff, here's the thing: when I see that these virtual queues are staying open more than 17 seconds,
yeah,
it makes my heart feel good. Because
I know, me too.
How it's supposed to work. Like,
it is how it's supposed to work.
Think about it for like an hour, and be like, I kind of want to ride that. Okay, I'm gonna get out my app. Like,
yes,
it's like up to this point, these things have been a lottery.
Yeah,
it's so stressful.
No, I agree with you.
I agree. And I've won and I've lost, but it's a lottery at this point.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. Yeah.
It's interesting. Okay, so here's a question. Now, we don't know this, and Lindsay's got a question, and we obviously have no idea. But I thought, Ricky, you could do some research maybe on this one for a second, because it's kind of what you're good at, this kind of stuff.
Okay.
This is, any predictions on price points for the dining plan when they come out for next year? I can't begin to imagine with how much things have increased in the past several years. But here's what I wanted. We don't know what it's going to be, but I was wondering, because I can't remember. Do you remember what the price point was for the dining plans in 2020 when it went away?
I'm looking at our page.
Did you have that on the web? Do you have like an archive of that?
Yeah, I do. And I don't think we didn't have a price listed on there. Because I am looking at it right now, and I don't think we had a price listed.
Okay.
If I had to guess, though, I mean, I would assume that the dining plan will be at least $5 to $10 more than it, was back in 2020.
Yeah, I would say at least. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the thing is, we'll wait and see what we got.
Yeah, that's just a guess, though. Yeah.
And the other thing to do is look at the price of the character meals. It's got to be more expensive than the adult price of a character meal. So yeah.
And did we just get this past week the price for, because Akershus breakfast just came out, right, this week?
Yeah, Akershus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know how much that is either right now.
I think 55.
55, but that was breakfast.
Yeah,
so
breakfast.
Dinner is obviously more than that, lunch and dinner. So
right.
Yeah.
I would say it would
on Garden Grill, because the breakfast comes out back there on the 14th of June.
I can look.
So Akershus for dinner, it says over 60 per adult.
That's kind of where I was thinking. Yeah. Garden Grill. Let me see if I can pull up how much that one is for dinner, because I would assume it would be over $60 at least for the Disney dining plan, at minimum. I'm gonna guess probably closer to 70. Just
it's been so long, I can't remember. I don't have a reference.
I know. I'm gonna guess it'll be closer to 70, because if it's $60 something for character, dinner basically, and then you're adding on, the snack and then the lunch. I mean, I would assume that it would be probably close to that $70 mark.
As long as you use those entitlements.
It's $55 for adults at Garden Grill.
For dinner?
For dinner, yes.
Okay. Yeah, not bad for a character meal. I like that. I like that food too. It's not fancy food, but it's good food.
And that doesn't include the alcohol price with that either.
Right.
So you'll add $55 plus, alcohol, which is about $15 at that point. So
Yep.
Yeah, I would guess you're getting close to about $70 per person for that dining plan at least.
Look at you doing the calculations on the fly.
Again, it's just a guess, though. I mean, I'm really just
You don't
taking
know.
a stab at it, but
We shall see on May 31st, if not before. Okay, Kyle's got a question. I have a 12-day trip staying at Beach Club this summer. Will I be able to book dining for all 12 days? Thanks for your help, Kyle. Pam, talk to Kyle about a 12-day trip, ADR-wise.
Yeah. So if so we're just talking about dining, right? Not the dining plan.
Right.
I was just wondering. Yes.
Summer.
Okay. All right, cool. So when you have a trip that is more than 10 days at length, 60 days prior to your check-in date, you'll be able to book dining for the first 10 days of your vacation. And then you'll have to wait to book those last couple of days. That's just a sort of a restriction of the Disney system. But as long as you're on site, that's what you are able to do. And it's a pretty cool benefit.
Right. And the biggest thing is, piece of advice, if you're looking for super hard to get ADRs, put them towards the back end of the 10 days. Just because only the people that have trips of that length or longer can reach that day. So, if you're looking for things like what's the hardest to get ADR right now? It used to be like Be Our Guest.
I want to say it's like Topolino's.
Yeah,
Topolino's breakfast is pretty hard.
Yeah.
Ohana continues to be a challenge.
Yep.
Homecoming at different times can be challenging, especially for brunch.
Sci-fi, if your name is Mike Rallman, you can get
right. I'm with you. I've tried on random trips to do sci-fi, and I'm like, nope, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Dude, there's like a what are those Faraday cages or something for like Mike Rallman's name and ADRs for that place.
They see you, they track you when you enter the park with your magic band to track you, and they'll be like, oh, he's going to sci-fi. Tell him no.
Yeah, it's
not happening.
I not get in there. Okay. Kevin's got a question. Any advice on getting into Trader Sam's on a Saturday with kids, 12 and 16? So it has to be before 8 p.m. Pam, you're a Trader Sam's aficionado.
And I was in there in the not too distant past, and hippopotami tie was one of the drinks we got.
Great name, hippopotami tie. That's a mouthful
right?
to say.
I like how it rolls off my tongue. I know there were a couple drinks that were appealing, but yes. So I think one of the easiest ways to do it for a couple of reasons is to go right before it opens up. And the thing is, then at that point, they'll start like checking people in and telling you when to come back, and they'll be like, yeah, you're going to be able to come in like around this time, or, oh, it's really packed today and it'll probably take like an hour or two before we call you. And then you have the ability to sort of explore the resort or ride the monorail around and check out those resorts. Like there's something for you to do during that time. So that's when I like to do it. And the reason why is other times it's just sort of an unknown. You could walk right in and it could be no problem, or it could be like, no, we have like tons of people waiting to get in here today and it can just take forever. So that's when I like to do it.
So we have a family who they called in on the Sunday Night Live show, and you probably heard them if you listened to the show yesterday, the replay from Sunday night. She's celebrating her 50th birthday. She's got 3 daughters. They're bringing their significant others. And so they're going down. It's a party of 11. They've got like a church van, and they're going around and having a good time this weekend at Walt Disney World. But on Mother's Day on Sunday, shout out to all the moms. Happy Mother's Day, Ricky.
It's my first Mother's Day.
Look at that. I didn't give you like all the dings for that one.
I wasn't even pregnant with Lucy at the time of last year either. So like this really is my first Mother's Day. Yeah. Totally.
If I had Hallelujah on the board, I'd play it again. But I don't. I totally missed out on twice. I needed that thing, and I don't have it ready. I'll get it ready. But anyway, they're trying to do Trader Sam's with 11 of them. And so I hope they get in on Sunday. That could be a challenge because it's a Sunday locals and it's Mother's Day. I don't know if like that's a Mother's Day thing, but it could be. I mean, it is for her.
Yeah, if I was there, that'd be a Mother's Day thing. I can make that a Mother's Day thing.
Yeah, so shout out. I hope they get there in 48 hours, that they have a great Mother's Day, and hope she gets one of the secret stools, if you know what I mean.
Not the kind for Cologuard. Sorry, that was not
Alice not going to say anything about school.
I'm so sorry. You opened it up and I just had to take it.
It's too funny. Too funny.
Literally.
Anyway, there we go. Nikki's got a question. We have got to move on.
Yes, we do.
Got to get this thing moving. Got to get the train moving. Okay.
This week has to be titled All About Poop.
It sure does.
What is wrong with us? Please don't leave an iTunes review this week. Please.
Nope.
Let's see. Hi, Mike. I love listening to your show on my commute to work
Maybe
each
not
morning.
anymore.
Yeah. Used to like listening to your show.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Thanks so much for making me laugh and sharing all your Disney love with your listeners. We hope. Here's my question.
Yes.
Here's her question. Okay, it's a Disney dining question for a party of 9. My sister and I are so excited to be heading to Disney at the end of June. Our 2 families are traveling together for a total of 9 people. When we made our ADRs last week, we had a tough time getting any reservations for the 9 of us. We ended up booking 2 separate reservations, parties of 5 and 4, for most of our bookings. The reservation times are very close together, if not the exact same time for most restaurants. We would love to be seated all together instead of at separate tables. Do you think it'll be possible at check-in to ask if our parties can be seated together? Would it be worth it to call in advance to make this request? What would you recommend in this situation? Thanks so much, Nikki. All right.
Sounds like something we've done a lot.
You've done this. Okay, so Ricky, give your thoughts because I think she's in fine shape.
Yeah, she's more likely in fine shape. So the good news is, since you've done the right thing and you've made the reservations for at the same time or around the same time, all you need to do is go just a little bit early of your reservation and, let them know what's going on. Hey, we're a party of 9, but we had to book it table 4, table of 5. Is there any way possible that we can sit together or near each other? More than likely, they are going to be able to accommodate you. There might be a few places where, it's just super busy or they don't have table space to be able to do that. But for the most part, they should be able to accommodate you and seat you all together, if not like real close to each other. So you should be fine.
Yeah, my best advice in this kind of situations is go about 10 minutes before the first reservation if you got 2 times. Okay, so go before the first one, 10 minutes before. Sound super excited, like you were just dying to get this ADR at this restaurant, even if it wasn't your favorite. Like, oh man, I was trying so hard, and this is like my favorite place that I've wanted to eat my entire, like I've always wanted to go to 50s prime time. You got to be like bubbly and excited that you're here. You got your family, you're celebrating, you want to be, you got to be so eager and then you just got to be like, man, if you could make this happen, this would, we're not expecting this, but if you could make this magic happen, we'd sure appreciate it. And I think a lot of times, it's kind of the whole thing, Pam, right? Like the sugar and not the, the demands, like just throw some sugar on them.
For sure. And who knows, by the end of the trip, you may only want to sit with part of your party. So you may be glad that's the way it worked out. You may want to go early and be like, you need to say that you have to sit with these people and these people have to be on the other side of the resort. No, I'm just kidding.
You're slipping of a $5 bill. Like,
that's right.
Can we not sit near these people? Thank you.
Yes. Now, at most restaurants, it won't be a problem. There's sometimes it is, but it'll work out. It's hard to talk to everyone when you're a big party at a restaurant. Anyways, it's actually easier to talk to a small group. But yeah, you'll be there. You'll all be experiencing the same thing and you'll have a great time.
That's so funny. $5 put me on the other side of the restaurant.
Right? When you see this guy walk out, show him a picture. See this guy? I don't want to be sitting with him.
Nope.
Like, party of 5? We're supposed to be a party of 9. Nope. She told me party of 5 only, please, sir. Stand back. You'll be called in 5 minutes. Sorry. Okay, next question. Says, avid Disney cruiser, but I need help. Hi, BOGP crew. I'm an avid Disney cruiser. Been on 8 cruises, all ships except the Wish. Going on the Wish in March of 2024 and taking my 2 nephews who are 15 and 13 on their first ever Disney cruise. I've never cruised with kids before. I've always been just me and my husband. I know we need special documents from their parents to get on the cruise. How does the kids club work? Would they be in the same club together? Do we have to go right away as soon as we get on the ship to register them? Thanks, Jennifer. So I'm trying to think the kids club ages. Isn't it? Man, is not. So it's Edge and Vibe, and I get the 2 mixed up because the names. I always try to think. Edge is the younger one, right? Or is it Vibe?
Yeah.
Edge is the younger one, I believe.
I think
Yes.
Edge is the younger one and Vibe's the older one. And Vibe is 14 to 17, right?
Think so. Hang on. If only there was like a website that I could look this up on.
Ricky's got this because I got too many things going with recording and everything. I get nervous when I try to start looking stuff up. I don't want to tax the computer because I've already got 17 programs running and we're live on 3 platforms.
Hold on. Okay, so Vibe, it's pulling up. Hey, you don't think I have a bajillion tabs open? Okay, so Vibe is a teens exclusive, so that makes me think it's like 14.
Right, Edge is 11 through 14.
Yes. Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
11 to 14 for Edge. I always get the names mixed up. That's the thing that messes me up. So Edge is it's alphabetical. That's how I can remember it. Edge comes first.
There you
Yes.
go.
So yeah, 14
like that. Okay, good. Okay.
14 to 17 on at Vibe. So yes.
And so Vibe is
14 to 17.
14 to 17. And then Edge is going to be
11 to 14.
11. Is it 14 or 13? That's the only thing I'm.
14.
Okay. Cool.
so they would not be in the same club, and Disney Cruise Line does not offer exceptions on that.
No, not on that one.
They do not offer, so they would not be in the same club. Pam, talk to them though about when you take kids who are not your own with Disney Cruise Line, you do have to get a release.
You do. And it's just good sense to have that anyways. You're going to want a notarized something or other saying that you can make decisions for this child. If God forbid something were to happen or there were emergency or need something, you need to be able to have that authority to make those kinds of decisions. So that's why you need to do it for there. And the kids club, you'll kind of set that up and get that ready before you even get on the ship. So I think that procedure has been made so much easier than when Hannah was doing this, which is a good thing. So you'll enjoy that. But yeah, they may not be together. And I think I always tell parents of any, not just parents, the grown-ups who are traveling with kids to have those kids go to the first night of activities, even if they don't want to. That's the time when sort of friendships are made and everyone feels awkward as heck and nobody knows anybody. So we'll just jump into it all together. I think that is one of the critical things. And if they don't like it, then you sort of change plans and whatnot, but give it a shot. It's worth it.
The counselors on the Disney Cruise Line ships are amazing. Like they're kind of a hybrid of a camp counselor and an educator. An educator, in my opinion. Of course, they're not full-on teachers or anything, but I think a lot of them probably would aspire to be educators at some point in their life. Again, I'm somebody who has an education background. I have a master's degree in elementary ed, so I kind of look at things in a different perspective. So does my wife. And I think that one of the things they excel in from my interactions of, picking up Mallory and stuff and seeing the interactions in the, the Oceaneers Club, the Oceaneers Lab, Edge, because she really loved that the last time, is that they're really good at making kids feel comfortable quickly and kind of like a team bonding kind of, and I'm really into that because I like coaching and stuff. And they're really good at that kind of building quick relationships. And you'll see that, by the end of the cruise, and these cruises last 3, 4, 7 nights. These kids are crying by the end of the cruise because they're not going to see their best friend for the rest of their life. Oh, I can't. Oh my God, my best friend. No, you just met them on Tuesday. You're going to be fine. We live in a social media. Like back in my day, you were pen pals.
Yes.
Yes.
You can talk to them nonstop on Snapchat or Instagram. You'll live. You'll be fine. Really, they're really good at building because, they'll be going on these missions around the ship and playing dodgeball at midnight. And all of a sudden, it's the greatest thing ever. But I think you just gave a huge key pan. You got to be there the first night because those relationships are built on the first night.
Yep, they are. And I think too, the counselors are good at really sort of including everybody. That's a good thing to note. It's, we all know being a teen and preteen can be sort of a brutal time in your development as a person. And they sort of really help with that.
Absolutely. All right. We got a question here from Chris. He says, "Hey, Mike, thank you for all your help with my past questions. You may remember on episode 2422, the listener question from February 22nd, I asked a particularly intricate question about early entry at Epcot while stacking at Hollywood Studios. We're recently back from our trip, and I'd like to share what I learned. If you'd like to share with the BOGP family, please feel free to share. Number one, early entry at the Epcot International Gateway. If you want to ride Remy with a minimal wait, 2, and if you're not staying at the Epcot area resort, and 3, if Hollywood Studios is opening the 30 minutes prior to Epcot, and 4, if you don't mind walking from Hollywood Studios to Epcot, then take the first bus to Hollywood Studios and walk to the International Gateway. It works. We walked onto Remy's Ratatouille Adventure before early entry starts on multiple occasions. Very good.
That's awesome.
And second, stacking on the Hollywood Studios schedule. He says, I previously asked you about stacking at Hollywood Studios, which opened 30 minutes earlier than Epcot, while doing early entry at Epcot, #ThinkingCap. Well, I have an answer. If you start with your first lightning lane at Hollywood Studios, you are on Hollywood Studios time. Our first lightning lane was at Hollywood Studios, which opened at 8:30. While we had a park pass for Epcot opening at 9. Genie Plus let us book our next lightning lane at 10:30. This is a great hack. You can experience multiple attractions at Epcot with minimal wait while stacking some great attractions at Hollywood Studios for later. We ended up having a relaxed time at Epcot and then rolled into Hollywood Studios with 4 lightning lanes ready to go. There's more I can share. But I hope this helps the BOGP family. Thanks. And I hope this is informative for the listeners. Thanks for all you do, Chris. Good. I didn't think about that, putting it on the
I know. We were all like,
That's good.
It is. And I think it just shows that, like, I know that there, are some challenges with doing all this stuff in the morning, but you sort of get on a roll with the Genie Plus. I think it sounds more complicated when you're thinking about it from home than it does when you're there. So,
that was a lot. That. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I'm at the point, and I know we talked about this on Wednesday, right? We have a lot of folks probably listening to our show that are getting ready to go down for their very first trip. And that is so cool. Like, I'm so jealous. Like, when everything is, it was like, when I went to Disneyland last July, it was the greatest. Even when I went back for that thing, this a couple of months ago, like, everything was still so new. Like, I could still kind of get lost even in Disneyland. Like, there's sometimes like I turned and I'm like, well, I went the wrong way. Mm-hmm. Like, and I loved it. Like, oh my God, I went the wrong way. I love it. I'm kind of lost. I'm not really lost, but this is great. Like, I don't do that at Walt Disney World anymore. I've run through those parks so many dang times and races. Like, you don't get, I still love going there, but I don't have that.
You don't get lost.
The discovery. But, like, I don't think about Genie Plus, like, at that level, but I love that people do. And, like, that's a great hack. I mean, because of that, he had a leisurely morning in Epcot and then a great afternoon or evening in the studios because he had the stacked Genie Plus experiences. It's good stuff.
Smart.
That's the smart bird gets the worm is what that is. Okay, next question. Annual pass question from Morgan. Hey, BOGP crew. We are annual pass holders and our renewal date is in September. Ooh, reminds me, mine's up at the end of this month. I got to renew mine. We're wanting to stay a couple of nights in a Disney resort in early November before our Wish Cruise. I'm hoping Disney releases an AP sale on resort stays soon for November dates. Could happen. If I were to try to book a stay now, it asks me about park passes. And if I don't have an annual pass, I assume that's because our passes would be expired then. My question is, when the sale is released, and if I book before we renew our passes, will I be able to book and receive the AP rate, assuming there's an AP sale at that time? Thanks for all you do. Morgan is in Fairfax, Virginia. So here's the deal. Let me just tell you, because I can take this one. I haven't answered a question here probably in a couple weeks. So book your room now at the regular rate because there's nothing out for November right now. It's too far out. And then you can always apply any discount that comes out as they become available. So a general public room offer, a Disney Visa room offer, if you have a Disney Visa card, an annual pass card. Here's the thing. You can book an AP offer without a valid annual pass. However, you have to show it, and it has to be an active annual pass when you check in, or else that rate's going to go back to rack rate at that time. Mm-hmm. So, like, you don't have to have it like in hand when you apply the annual pass rate to your offer. You just it has to be shown at check-in, or else you're going to be paying rack rate. Right, Pam? I mean, that's the thing is you want to
Yes.
get the room while it's there and then apply discounts as they pop up.
Yep, 100%. And the other thing that sort of throws a monkey wrench in this is if you are not eligible to buy another annual pass, if you were like, and Disney's not selling new annual passes at that time, then you're out of luck in that space too. So take that into consideration as well.
All right, next question's from Natalie. I kind of like this one. I apologize for writing in so many questions, but it's been fun to hear you read them on air. I would love to hear your input. My question is, what hotel level do you think Disney would build next? Value, moderate, deluxe, theming, and location? And what hotel would you like to see them build next? So my opinion, just real quick, and I'm not going to give like theming or anything, but I would love to see them build one more moderate. I just think a moderate would be nice. You got Riverside, French Quarter, Coronado, and Caribbean Beach. And again, this is just me because because you asked, and I'm going to be selfish. That's where I like to be in the moderates. I think that's a good price point. I find a huge value. I find value in the moderates. I find that hits a sweet spot for me. It gives me what I need. It gives me decent location. It gives me good transportation options. Gives me a little bit bigger room. Gives me a little bit better pools. Gives me a little bit better dining options. Especially Coronado Springs. I really like Coronado. And I like Caribbean Beach because of the Skyliner. I would like to see one more moderate with that level of amenity. I don't know, Ricky, where would you go? Do we need more value? Do we need a value, deluxe, moderate? Where are you going?
I was thinking value. I feel like that would be a good thing to see more of. Just another value resort. I agree with you though. I think a moderate would be nice, but I absolutely think that there needs to be another value. But what I think they're going to build is more deluxe, and actually, it's just going to be Disney Vacation Club. It's not going to be just deluxe. It'll be Disney Vacation Club is what I think they're going to keep building because that's all they've been building. But I would like to see a value resort come in.
Easy. Be nice.
What? I'm just saying.
Be nice.
All they're building is deluxe and vacation club resorts. So,
I'm sort of with you, Mike. I actually think it would be nice to see a moderate resort. I think so. What's funny is I feel like with the deluxe resorts, they've really made such improvements in the resort rooms lately. Like when we see those rooms, I'm always impressed by them constantly because they're so much better, and yet they're still so Disney. That Moana room with the Polynesian, that's fantastic. The Incredibles room, yes. The Grand Floridian with the Mary Poppins touches, yes. So every time they redo a resort, I'm like, I love everything about this. Like, you need to keep doing this over and over again. But I think there's a lot of opportunities in the moderate category, and even to sort of have a moderate plus like Grandestino. I would love to see something like that, right?
I mean, because I let Mallory pick for the pre and post podcast cruise stay.
Yes.
And because the thing is, like, we're not going to have tickets for before the cruise. We're coming down on the 1st. And so we're just going to chill, right? Because we're going on the cruise on the 3rd. So we're just going to chill. And I let her pick. And we're going to go to the parks after the cruise for 3 days. And so she picked Grandestino. Like, she's like, I want to stay at Coronado in the top. But she's like, she's fancy, right?
Yeah.
She's like, but we got to stay in the tower. We got to be in the fancy rooms. I'm like, fine. Because the thing is, I mean, if you think about it, with a discount, and I have an annual pass, like, you can stay on a discounted rate with an annual pass in the tower this summer for almost like rack rate at Pop Century. It's not that big. It's like, I'm not going to tell them that. I'm going to make it sound like I'm spending a lot of money on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I want to look like I'm splurging for them, but it's a good deal, and it's got a great pool because we're going to be there for like, a day and a half before the cruise. We can hang out at the dig site pool. We can eat at Maya Grill. It's a good place for me to run. We'll, go to Disney Springs. We'll probably go play putt-putt. That really suits all of our needs for like a, day and a half before cruise. Perfect.
Yeah.
What to say.
It has so many things to do. It really does. I think that there's so many things to love about that resort. And even, it's funny, I find myself when I'm there walking over to the old part of the resort where the check-in area used to be. And the way that they've updated that is fantastic. That's such a great space. So love that resort.
And you know what? I always see Arundel Prince working every time I walk through that area. Every single time he's doing work on a laptop in that area, the old check-in area. It's
Interesting.
That's funny.
uncanny. I think he's like 24/7 there doing work. It's crazy. Shout out, Aaron, if you're listening. Okay, Thomas has a question. Hey, Mike and BOGP crew, thanks for all your help booking my very first Disney cruise aboard the Wish. I owe you an old fashioned and owe Ben 2 old fashions. Well, how about that?
There you go.
I don't know why Ben gets 2. I'll have to do some research. I forget.
I'm pretty sure Ben
Research.
probably deserves it. Yeah.
Ben, I was probably out on a long trip, and Ben probably did a ton of work. I'm sure Ben does deserve 2. And I'll tell you what, 1 old fashioned and I'm toast. So that's good. I only need 1. He says, as promised, I have 1,000 questions. So please, here's my first 100 below. He says, just kidding. I do have a question about dining. My parents decided to book their own cruise and will join us. However, since they booked themselves and are not on our reservation, how can we ensure that we are seated together during our dinners? Also, my daughter is going to be 12 at the time of the cruise. Can you briefly describe the pros and cons of the different dinner seating times? Not sure which would be better for our group. Thanks for everything. I love the show and your always positive attitude, Thomas. And he says he's in the U.S. Navy. And again, thank you for your service. We appreciate that so very much because we need you guys out there, guys and the women and ladies and gentlemen, more than ever. We appreciate your service. Okay, so let's get to that. Okay, so if you give us, we're only supposed to work with reservations as travel agents that we book ourselves. But if you let us know the last name and the confirmation number, I have friends at Disney Cruise Line at this point. They're like my family. I can probably get it linked. They're like my office buddies. Like, it's so sad that when I call, they say, "Hey, Mike," before I even say hi to them. They know that they see my caller ID. It's uncanny at this point. So I can do everything I can to get that done for you. So just let me know. Shoot me an email. Let's talk about dining times. I like this question about pros and cons. This reminds me of Phil Keegan on The Amazing Race. This is a detour. It's 2 tabs, each with its own pros and cons. Because that's what I watch every day in the office. So, Pam, pros and cons of early versus late dining. What do you say to that?
That's interesting. It sort of is an interesting dilemma, as they say, because what really is going to happen is here's what's most impactful. Whatever time your dining time is opposite of when your showtime will be. So that's something to think about. In some ways, it's almost easier for us to do the show first and then the dining, because I know that Steve in particular is going to stay up through the dining. But if we get in there and sit and we're in a dark room and the ship is rocking, he will probably fall asleep. So I don't know, but no. So I think it really just depends on your family. What time do they like to eat? Or do they care? You're always going to be able to get second dining available, almost always, except on a med cruise. You'll find availability on med cruise. The late dining is really challenging to get. So if you're unsure, book main dining now, and then you can always switch to second dining.
So, and I know that this is something that, and I'm not, because I just thought about this. So I'd be dead, by the way, by late dining, like dead. If I eat like at 4 o'clock.
Mike would be dead. Yeah.
When I see 7:30, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, no, like I couldn't. I joke because the thing is, on a cruise, what I would do is I would go down to into the ship and go get like a couple pieces of pizza, maybe an ice cream cone at like 4 o'clock, and call that pre-dinner, and then I'd be good till 7:45. So yes. I would make it.
You would.
You're not going to starve on a Disney Cruise Line ship or any cruise ship. You're going to be totally fine, no matter if dinner was at 10:30. You'll be fine, and you'll love it. Now, one of the things they did offer, and because I haven't even thought about this, but I haven't heard that they don't offer this for the late dining. Do they still have that thing where the counselors come into the dining room halfway through the dinner shift and grab the kids and take them to the club? They did that for a while.
I know they did. I can't remember if that has come back.
Yeah, I don't know if that's come back or not.
That was genius that they did that. I got to look that up and see, because I haven't heard that it does or doesn't happen. But like what they used to do was, if you had kids on late dining, what they would do is about, what was it, like 30, 35, 40 minutes through dinner, your servers would like bring out the kids meal, right, for the kids, like right off the bat, like, early. And the
Right.
kids like eat their chicken nuggets and their fries. And then, 30, 45 minutes into the meal, they bring in, a handful of counselors from the kids club, like the younger kids club, like the Oceaneers Club
Right.
Lab, if you remember. And they would get the kids and walk them down to the club, and perfect. Cause then the kids are gone, and then you could enjoy the rest of your meal in peace and at a slower pace. I was like, whoever thought of that? That is the greatest idea of all time.
Right. I
Great.
know it was. I'm just not sure that it's back.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, that was a great idea though. So, all right. So let's get to the last question of the day. It's from Trish. It says, hey, Mike, Ricky, Pam, and Scott. Love listening to your show. Been listening for about 3 years now and appreciate all the Disney tips and discussion. I have a question for you about my upcoming trip. Let's see about our trip. Sorry. I have a couple of questions for you about our trip coming up the last week of April. But sorry, we got behind on this one. My family of 4, my husband and myself, plus a 16 and 14-year-old boy, and my sister's family of 3, her husband, and an 11-year-old daughter are staying at the yacht club. We have some dining reservations booked at places we've never been before, and I'm excited. I was able to snag a reservation for Rodeo Roundup Barbecue. We also grabbed a fireworks dessert pre-party. I've never gone to a dessert party before, so any tips for attending those would be appreciated. In addition to fireworks at Magic Kingdom, we also hope to attend Fantasmic. What time do you recommend getting in line for that? And Mike, the question is specifically for you, since I know you love the Croque Madame sandwich. My husband also loves those sandwiches, so I know he would like to be able to try one from Primo Piatto. My question is, how long do they serve breakfast? I'm not sure how to get him one since we plan to rope drop the parks, so I don't think he can get one, and we can still get to the parks early. Thoughts? Thanks for all the fun Disney talk. Trish is up in Des Moines, Iowa, where when I used to speed skate, the best speed skaters in the world were from West Des Moines, Iowa, the skating rink up there. Their names were Dante. Well, the guy that was the best, his name was Dante Muse. So I don't know if you know them, but they were awesome. Okay, anyway, sorry that we're late on the question. Hope you had a great trip. So here's the good news. I hope you got his Croque Madame. They're served all day. They're served.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So I hope he got one. It didn't say, "Oh, dude, it's 10:30," like McDonald's. Oh my God, it's 10:30. I can't get over there and get it because it's served like for lunch too, and I think it's served at dinner. Is it all day? I think
it's all day. I think.
Yeah, in the morning, I think it just has an egg on it, and I
think you're right.
It has it the rest of the day. So
if you didn't get it, go back and get
go
it.
back.
So this is just helping for the cause here. For Fantasmic, I like to get in line no later than 30 minutes prior to the show. Is anybody have thoughts on that?
No, that's
no
right.
later than. No later than. No
Dude,
later than.
Crazy. Like Fantasmic, it draws a crowd. And
Yeah.
then what about Pam? Because you are the fireworks dessert party.
I am.
Tips for that. What do you give for that?
So what you're going to want to do is head over there is probably about 10-15 minutes before the dessert party is supposed to start. You'll get a wristband, and then you can get into that area, get your desserts on, and then before the fireworks start, you'll be able to head over to the hub where there's a specific area set aside just for guests who have the dessert party, and you'll be able to see the fireworks from there. It's actually one of my favorite spots to watch the fireworks now. I really do enjoy it for a number of reasons, but the biggest reason is the lack of hassle that it is to get there.
And to eat all the desserts.
All of them.
All the desserts. That's what I'm getting ready to do as soon as I get done editing the show, because Paige is home. And so we're going to have to get dessert tonight. Maybe Fritz's. Ricky,
Ooh, good choice. I mean, I prefer Doozles, but yes, good choice.
Yeah, but we're in St. Charles, so Fritz's is going to have to do.
Well, it is in St. Charles, but not where you live. So.
Yeah. All right, there's your St. Charles talk for today.
There you go. That's it.
So we're getting out of here. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks so much for hanging with us this week. Hope you enjoyed the shows. And don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Like I said on Wednesday, we would love to help you plan that 2024 package starting on May 31st, or don't wish away 2023. We'd love to help you get down there for this summer, this fall, Halloween. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I'm sure soon we'll have the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas tickets coming out. Seeing all the beautiful decorations and all the times in between. I mean, September, August, still fun. I mean,
right.
Yeah. Doesn't get much love. I mean, we're gonna do halfway to August. I don't know, probably
Yeah.
not, but let's do it. Anyway, we just want to help you plan a great Disney vacation. That's what we do each and every day, and we love to help you do that today. So just go over to the website, themagicforless.com, fill out the quote form, and we'll take great care of you right then and there. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to the patrons of the Be Our Guest Podcast. I love doing this show. Ricky and Pam love doing this show. So does Scotty when he gets on here. We have a good time doing this. We're friends in real life, and we love getting to get together with you all these times over the years, and it's just a lot of fun. You guys support that. So if you'd like to get that bonus show every week, it's called Mike in the Midwest. We'd love to have you. Coming over, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Join us on the social media. We can continue the conversation throughout the week. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Give Scott a follow too. He's at Scott, so give him a follow as well. And join us Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll be talking to you and taking your calls live on Facebook and YouTube. So lots to talk about Sunday night. Give us a ring. Can't wait to talk to you there. And of course, one more time, happy Mother's Day to all the moms in our audience. Thanks for all you do. Hope you have a great day. Hope you get some pasta, some tacos. I don't know what you guys are the moms. Happy Mother's Day to Ricky, to Pam, to my Pam, to my mom. Ricky, what's your go-to for Mother's Day meal?
I mean, given that it's my first Mother's Day, I have no idea. I don't even.
What's your go-to meal though? I mean, it's not your first time you get to go out to eat.
I mean, I to be honest, I haven't even thought that far in advance. So yeah, I have no idea what I want for Mother's Day. I know.
So we always go out to Spaghetti Factory because it's
that would be nice. If we had Spaghetti Factory here in Atlanta, you can bet I would be at Spaghetti Factory. But unfortunately, we do not.
That's our thing.
The closest one was Nashville, but that one caught on fire, I think. So.
Yeah, we do the one in the Valley though. We used to do the one on McLeod's Landing, but we like to stay alive. So
there's that. Yeah.
We don't do that anymore. Pam, what's your go-to for Mother's Day? Happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Thank you. I'm happy when anyone else is cooking. So I'm not really picky about it. It's all good. So yeah.
And there's words to live by. It's all good. All right. We'll see you guys next week. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All right.
That's a show. Pam, feel better.
I'm gonna go tell a visit.
Good luck.
All right. I'll see you guys
later.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.